Hello again, and welcome back. My name is Scott Heaton. I'm your host of Scott Recommends. We are back with Matt Bell of My Tax Pro, and today we are talking about something that is more familiar to me, and that is, do I have to pay taxes when I sell my home for capital gains? Um, yeah.
Yeah. So, a lot of people have this question. I've lived in my home. The real estate market's going really, really well. I'm looking to sell my home. Do I have to pay taxes when I sell that home? And the answer is it depends, right? Is this going to be your personal residence? Is this going to be a rental property that you have? And so, uh, let's do just a quick hypothetical. Let's say you call Scott up and he sells you a home, and you buy this home for $100,000. Okay. And then you live in the home, it's your personal residence, and you've lived there for, 6 years. And let's say that home increased in price up to, let's say, $400,000. Okay. You go to sell that home, there's a $300,000 gain there. But because it's your personal residence and because you've lived there for 2 of the last 5 years, you have what's called a gain exclusion, meaning that assuming that you're married filing jointly, there's a 250,000 gain exclusion per person. So if you're filing jointly, there's a $500,000 gain exclusion to where you don't have to pay capital gain tax on that, which is awesome. Now, in that same scenario, it's a rental property, not your personal residence. Well, now all of a sudden you do have to report that gain and pay capital gain tax. But there are some things that we can do to reduce that gain. Any kind of expenses that you have with a realtor like Scott, or any other expenses of landscaping or upgrading your home, those are things that we can incorporate into the tax return to reduce that gain, which will then reduce that tax liability. And so the main question is it your personal residence or is it a rental property? And then we go from there.
You know what I love about having somebody like you around? Is when I have clients in these situations when they have questions,
Yeah.
it's so nice to be able to reach out to a tax professional like Matt, where I can ask questions because that's something I never want to guess at and
Yeah.
steer my clients in the wrong direction. So again, I appreciate you always being available to answer my questions when I have them. So
Yeah, and absolutely. And I was just going to say, if you're able to reach out to us prior to selling that home, we can come up with different strategies as well. Like, if you don't want to incur that tax liability, if it's a rental property, you do something like a 1031 exchange. And so having those conversations prior to the sale of the home uh, is important.
great advice, good stuff,
Thanks.
Matt. Sure appreciate it. How do folks get a hold of you?
Yeah, so they can give me a call. My number is 385-352-3396, or they can find us online at my-taxpro.com.
All right. Thanks, Matt. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to the next time we get to chat with Matt Bell of Tax Pro. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.